if you've saved more than $2 million and you are still telling yourself you need more time to retire. I want to help you put that number in perspective. The median retirement account for Americans 55 to 64 is about $185,000, while the median retirement account for people 65 to 74 is close to $200,000. Americans think they need about $1.46 million. According to Planning and Progress research by Northwest Mutual, meaning your $2 million has crossed the finish line that most people are still chasing. The video describes 5 reasons the $2 million retirement is longer than most people realize. And then we discuss that it may still not be enough. Reason 1. Your spending is not linear. Most retirement projections are based on a starting figure of $100,000 a year, plus an annual inflation rate of 3%, and show that the figure will continue to climb for 30 years. But the actual behavior of retirees tells a different story. David Blanchett has found that real spending tends to fall by about 1% a year after adjusting for inflation. Researchers call it a retirement spending smile because spending is high in the early stages of activity, declines in the medium term, and bends upward later as healthcare costs rise. When a plan assumes that it will become more expensive each year, the savings target expands to cover spending that has never been achieved. That is why $2 million is enough for forecasting, not math. Reason 2. You don't need to change your entire salary. A person earning $150,000 often thinks they need a $150,000 pension. A review of studies by the Government Accountability Office found that those percentages range from 70 to 85% of pre-retirement earnings, and that even those percentages could be high. Retirement account contributions disappear, payroll taxes fall, commuting and work meals stop, and your children are likely to be independent, pay off your mortgage, and further reduce your budget. JP Morgan studied real household data and confirmed that demand for alternatives fluctuated widely, depending on income levels, spending habits, and tax conditions. The portfolio only needs to fund the rest of its life after work. And if it costs $120,000 a year, it does look like replacing $180,000 in wages at all. Reason 3. Social Security is more important than you think. The famous 4% rule models withdrawals as non-existent Social Security, completely divorced from reality. The average benefit for retired workers is about $2,000 a month. For a married couple with solid work experience, combined income can reach $50,000 to $70,000 a year before the portfolio contributes $1. An inflation-adjusted gain. A couple who want to retire with a total income of $140,000 needs only $80,000 in their portfolio if Social Security covers $6,000. Without it, the portfolio suddenly needs to generate the full amount, requiring a reserve fund almost twice as large. Reason 4. Your withdrawal rate 1. Lock-in forever. A $2 million, 4% withdrawal rate generates $80,000 in pre-tax earnings per year. Retirees at 5th of May earn 5 or 6% of their wages in the first few days before Social Security begins. Numbers that sound worrisome, only if you imagine sustaining them for 30 years. Once Social Security is activated, portfolio exit rates fall, and for most retirees, they remain low. A person may run a high withdrawal at 2% or 3% for 10 years, and then 25 years. The plan does not look like an indefinite 5% pull, which is why the $2 million impact is greater than the original figure suggests. Now let me tell you where $2 million might require more planning. HealthBridge retirement at 55 means the portfolio covers about a decade before Medicare begins. Research by the Kaiser Family Foundation shows that insurance costs for older people before Medicare are difficult to cover, especially for families that do not qualify for ACA subsidies. ULC, that studies claiming out-of-pocket healthcare costs, may total $350,000 over 30 years, but they are dispersed every year and adjusted for inflation, with annual costs becoming a recurring budget item rather than retirement insurance. Long-term care is the real risk. In a 2024 study by Genworth and CareScout, The median cost of assisted living was about $70,000 a year, and the median cost of nursing home care was more than $100,000. Cost alone did not derail the plan. There are no such plans. Home equity, special reserves, or specific buckets reserved for hospice are all answers that need to exist in advance. Fixed spending commitments also matter. A 2024 survey by the Employee Welfare Institute found that 31% of retirees reported spending beyond their means, and a third experienced unexpected spending. A family with a large mortgage or family support obligation that cannot be adjusted flexibly, even $2 million, may not be ready for early retirement. Repaying debt or delaying it until mortgages disappear has sometimes proved an honest answer. Once someone reaches $2 million, the question is no longer whether I need more money, but the specific cost makes it difficult. Skipping this step will lead to savings growing toward larger numbers, but it will never solve the problem of making retirement feel risky. Household debt is not going away because the portfolio has increased by another $200,000. And one thing is that it no longer makes sense to trade more time for more money. You now know why $2 million is more than the portfolio balance suggests. For anyone who retires before Medicare, one of the biggest remaining problems is health insurance before age 65, because the plan can reshape the entire early retirement plan. To see what to do, click on this video, which says that once I show it to early retirees, healthcare becomes easier. As always, thank you for your time and attention. See you in the next video.